World Cup with him?
Yes. All right then. Let's set the record absolutely straight. Their rivalry goes far beyond the prestigious Ashes Tour. Australia and England, when they meet, all you can imagine and expect is fireworks. And now the stage is bigger, the stakes are even higher, and we are expecting a very, very fine contest. Joining me now, my friend Suraj, who is going to tell us as the stakes go higher, what exactly happens between Australia and England. Welcome to the ICC Champions Trophy special with the Free Press Journal Sports Desk, and we are going to decode this match. But before that, Suraj, I must come to you and ask, what does it mean for India to win the first game in this trophy, in this series, as opposed to Pakistan losing its first game?
Uh, I was really, really happy. So Rohit Sharma dropped the catch, but I think it was a brilliant performance by the Indian team. Or like even though we were sloppy in fielding, but batting wise we did really well. I think as you can see that Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, they all got the starts, but they did fail to convert that starts into big innings. But it's okay; it's just the first match. So hopefully they are in the right frame of mind, in a good touch when the big match against Pakistan comes up on Sunday.
And Pakistan losing its first game, what does that mean? We have already witnessed what has happened in the past year, in the World Cup. It acts like, it's a cascading effect. Once you start losing, that losing streak may remain. Will Pakistan repeat the
See,
same in this one? Who knows?
see Pakistan losing the first game on their home ground. I mean, it's very difficult to digest for them. Because obviously they, as a host, they would have wanted to make a great start because they know what the other three teams are like, especially with India, New Zealand, all how they are going to be playing the entire tournament. They know how tough they are going to be as an opponent. So obviously, it's like they lost the first game to New Zealand. The batting didn't click. The bowlers were taken to the cleaners. So yeah, they would want to put things right when they play against India. Of course, it's one of the biggest rivalries in cricket, and
You
the
said
pressure is completely different. The players
absolutely.
feel the pressure, lots at stake. So yeah, Pakistan will, it's a do or die clash for them because if they lose, they are certainly out of the tournament, or else they'll have to rely on other results to go in their favor. But the major point is that they lost Fakhar Zaman because of an injury. I think that is a big blow for them because he is the kind of player who can really, get them runs off to a flyer in the power play, in the first 6 overs, which are always crucial while you're chasing or you're batting first. So losing him is a big setback. But I guess Mohammad Rizwan is still confident, like they can pull it off just like they did in 2017 when they won the final.
And we always keep this promise, right? We are going to keep this edition India centric, very much India centric. But this clash of the Titans, Australia and England, this is something to look forward to, isn't it?
One of the oldest rivalry in cricket. I mean, they've given us countless memories, in the past, and obviously the white ball format it will be a very different format. And yes, these two teams would want to make a winning start, but again, Australia, the main point. I mean, what I want to talk about is Australia will be without their frontline paces.
The group
Pat
itself,
Cummins, Mitchell Stark.
allow me to butt in, Suraj. The group B itself is very, very interesting. You have Afghanistan, you have England, Australia, and South Africa. Australia, South Africa, they are rivals in their own right. You have Australia and England. As I said in my introduction, their rivalry stretches far beyond the prestigious Ashes tour. But you have that quirky, so to speak, entrant in that one, someone who's made an entry for the first time in the ICC Championship, which is Afghanistan. But of course, we are sticking to Australia and England, and we'll take a look at their squad, their respective squads, and we'll check who these players are who are going to make all the difference. There you go. So the three
I think
three
when you look at when you look at the Australian squad, obviously the big news is that they are missing their core bowlers, their captain, Pat Cummins, the team that won them the ODI World Cup last year in India. There is no Mitchell Stark, there is no Josh Hazelwood, there is no Pat Cummins. So obviously, Australian pace attack is not very sharp, I must say. But yeah, they would the players who have been brought into the side, they would definitely want to make an impact.
And look at these names. Steve Smith, you have Travis Head, the biggest nemesis possible for England as well as for India. You have Adam Zampa. So apart from these names, you also have some solid names with tremendous numbers to back up. What do you reckon therefore of this team going ahead up against England? And the names that you have been saying, even if we happen to omit all those names, you still have those solid and absolutely concrete names in that list who can pose a threat to England. What do you say?
See, when you look at the Australian squad, definitely the batting looks good. But once again, like I said, the bowling department is a little bit of concern with no frontline bowlers, especially the pacers I'm talking about. So, the pressure will be on their left arm seamer Spencer Johnson and the likes of Aaron Hardy, Nathan Ellis, so Ben Dwarshuis for that matter. Even though these guys have performed really well in the Big Bash League, uh, coming and playing in a major tournament like the Champions Trophy will be a very different ball game altogether. So obviously the pressure will be on these guys to deliver. I mean, always we know that once Australia starts picking wickets early in the innings, it is very difficult to stop them. So these pacers, this couple of pacers in the side, they definitely would, want to do what Cummins, Hazelwood, and Stark used to do for the team.
Suraj, this is simply by default, not by design, that they do not have the pacers, but their spinners are very much in with full strength. And that is likely to make all the difference because now you're playing in the subcontinent. You're not playing in England, you're not playing in Australia or South Africa, New Zealand, you're playing in Pakistan. So that is going to make all the difference, a world of difference, as they say, because you have your spinners intact, even if you lose out on some of the players who are known for their pace. What is your analysis?
See, right now, first, like I said, when we talk about the Australian squad, I mean, in the spin department, we have Tanveer Sangha and Adam Zampa. Zampa being the senior among the two, so he will have to, do most of the damage when it comes to picking wickets. And
Yeah.
when you come to the England squad, I mean, we just recently saw them, being beaten pretty comprehensively by Team India when they had come to India for an ODI series. But again, England on paper looks a very good sport for that matter. And again, they have got some quality pacers. They have Adil Rashid, Joe Root can also roll his arm over,
Yeah.
and the likes of Liam Livingston for that matter. So yes, they are pretty. They look to be a pretty balanced side. I mean, there is no shortage of bowling options for skipper John Butler.
A cursory glance at the English side quickly tells you the names that stand out absolutely solid. You have Joe Butler, you have Jofra Archer, you have Joe Root. But apart from these two, there are some really good, promising talents out there, especially when they play in the subcontinent, in Pakistan against Australia. England had a drubbing against India. They lost that series against India in India. Australia was fabulous against India, but of course they have also entered this tournament, this series defeated. So what the sentiment must be like in the dressing room now? This is your chance. This is your opportunity to show the world who the true king is.
See, England definitely come into the Champions Trophy with a little bit of low confidence. The tour to India was like a rehearsal, a dress rehearsal for the Champions Trophy. But again, the way Team India played was absolutely unbelievable. England looked all over the place. Even though they tried to do well, they got stuck. They kept losing wickets. The batsmen got their starts, but they never converted into a huge score. So yes, the confidence would be a little down, but again, counting them out, it will be very difficult for the fact when it comes to ICC tournaments, England definitely, brings their A game on the table. So yeah, I mean, when you ask about the standout performance, I'm very much looking forward to Mark Wood, the likes of Jamie Overton, who will be playing in the IPL. So playing in subcontinent pitches will definitely help him. Then you have the likes of Tom Banton, you have Gus Atkinson, then Harry Brook, who has a great record in Pakistan. So he will be the ones to watch out for. Despite his struggles in India, he will definitely want to prove a point when they're playing Pakistan.
Will the toss matter? Therefore, we are looking at the bowling department. Of course, is going to play a crucial part as far as the spin department goes. But what about the batsmen? Are they going to shuffle the order, or are they going to stick to the promising order they have been retaining so far? And most
See, it
importantly,
is
is the toss going to make the difference?
I think the toss is definitely going to make a difference. See, like I said the last time around as well, everything will depend on the surface as to what kind of surface will be prepared for this match. If the surface is, helping out spinners, then I would definitely say England would want to bring in a little bit of more spin option. But if it is pacers, I think there is no shortage of options for England because you have the likes of Jofra Archer, you have Mahmood who've got lethal pace, and then you have Sakib Mahmood, Jamie Overton for that matter. So, like I said, everything will depend on what kind of pitch they're gonna get to ball.
Absolutely. And of course, from Australian side, as indeed from the English side, someone can come in handy and you never know. They could not be a pick of the bowler for that day, but may surprise us as well with their talent, both with batting as well as bowling, because other factors are going to play a huge role. English are known, they are most comfortable in the English weather. They play well in Australia, but Australia is a dominating side. We know that. But even for Australia, it's not going to be easy given the subcontinent condition. What is your analysis there for? Because both these teams have not only come out of respective defeats, but they are playing in the subcontinent.
See, I feel that England have a slight edge when it comes to playing subcontinents. It's not. It's just that, like you said, England they play overseas. The pitches are different, but again, there are players who have been playing in subcontinent, who have been playing in different leagues. So in the T20 format specifically. So yeah, they have that bit of experience of playing in subcontinent pitches. When you look at the Australian side, I think there are only a few of the players that, according to me, have played in the subcontinent pitches. So definitely that is gonna make a huge difference as to how because in the Australian side you have Adam Zampa, you have Steve Smith, you have Barnes Labuschagne. I mean these players. I mean Labuschagne and Smith obviously they're world class players and they play spin pretty well. But besides them, when you talk about the other batters, I'm a little, dicey as to how their approach is gonna be. Just
Have
like
I
to
just
add, even Travis said for that matter.
Travis said for that matter as well. Am I wrong
Yeah.
in that I have chosen to wear yellow today? I'm rooting for Australia, but the kind of description you're giving of all these players and how what the possibility is like of who's winning what in which department, Australia does look weak in terms of players they're missing out on. But nothing can be said until the last ball is delivered. Here's the Australian squad again. We have taken a look at the English squad as well. We're going to take a look at the promising player as far as this battle and this contest goes. Who are your top favorites? We're going to take a look at that slide as well. We have our personal favorites, but there are certain players who have been performing consistently well as far as ODI goes. So, who are your pick of the players from both Australia as well as from the English side?
See, when you look at the squad, I can definitely say that Travis Head tops the list for me. Obviously, when it comes to big matches, you have seen the World Cup final. You've seen IPL. Travis said subcontinent pitches is a beast. I mean, the way he plays, he handles things. He's a different player altogether. Obviously, you have Steve Smith, the kind of experience he has. Australia will be banking on him to get runs in the tournament. And you have Manus Labuschagne, again, a brilliant batsman. Once he sets his sight in, I mean, once he stays on the crease, it is very difficult to get him out. And yeah, he has that. I mean, these players have the knack of playing longer innings. So I think these are the one, from Australia, like the batsmen that I'm looking forward to. But one more thing is that from the new faces that we have Jake Fraser McGurk. I'm like a huge fan of him because I've seen like he's got the capability to hit long shots. So he might prove to be one of the trump cards during the tournament if he's given ample of opportunities to play.
How does this particular game play out emotionally speaking? We need that foot in the door, so to speak. When you win the first match of any tournament, it acts like an advantage, and therefore it also acts as a cascading effect. It gives you that tremendous emotional backup, so to speak. So in that sense, how important is this game going to be? There are two factors involved: a, the emotional factor, and B, the emotional factor that comes with Australia and England rivalry. So, in that regard, in that context, how important is this game going forward in the ICC Champions Trophy?
See, to be honest, I would like to just put the emotions aside for right as of for now, because what really matters, I personally feel for both these teams would be to get off to a winning start, because every game is a do or die game in this tournament. So obviously, the team that starts off on a winning note definitely has an advantage. And this match, I believe, is going to be a good contest because, and obviously, nobody teams, no, I mean, no team wants to lose a match by a heavy margin because it would definitely affect their net run rate. So I expect a good fight between both these teams.
And these are the players we are counting on. From Australia, you have Travis Head, these are usual suspects. Travis Head, Steve Smith, and Glenn Maxwell. They are absolute destroyers. We
Uh,
know that they are known for taking the game long and deep. From England, you have of course Joes Butler. Unfortunately, Root is goes missing from that list. So, who are the top three players from each side for you, Suraj?
I would, even though Root is missing from the list, I would want to add Root in that list because Root's experience is gonna come in handy in this tournament. He's well versed with the subcontinent pitches. Like I said, it's all about getting your eyes in. Once he's set, he's there. He'll play the longer innings. He will definitely try and get you more runs as much as he can. He can like play some big shots. He can rotate strikes. So Root has all the ability to do that. Then the second option would be from England will be the skipper Josh Butler. In the last series against India, he did really well. He was scoring half centuries in the T20 format. So he's got some form under his belt, like coming into the tournament. So I won't be surprised if Josh Butler would once again be among the runs. In the bowling department, I'm really looking forward to Jofra Archer for that matter. Even though he did not have a great series against India, but once again, with his pace and bounce, he can definitely rattle any batsman. And spin department, we have Adil Rashid, one of the experienced bowlers. He has the ability to outfox batsmen. He can just control the flow of runs. He can chip in with wickets. These are a couple of players which I feel can make the difference for England. And Australia, it's all the experienced players. Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne, and Travis Head at the top. You have Josh Inglis. He's also a solid wicket-keeper batsman. So I'm very much looking forward to see how he performs. While the bowling lacks the bite, but I believe they still can deliver when needed.
Of course, you asked me to keep the emotions aside as far as this contest goes. But from India perspective, because we're keeping, with the India centric theme, from India perspective, we lost against Australia majorly down down under, as opposed to England. We won against England. That was home series. So India crowd must be cheering from for England. What is what is your position in this whole equation?
Pratham, I don't. I mean, obviously both are great sides, but the Indian fans. There are a lot of supporters for Australia, I believe, because Australia are a champion side. And when it comes to ICC tournaments, they definitely are a different opposition. I mean, in terms of form, I mean, players' performance. So yeah, I mean, we lost to Australia, but there is no shortage of fans who support Australia as well. See, if you truly ask me, it is very difficult
I'm
to
really, really
say
glad.
the kind of
Sorry.
fans who are.
I'm really glad that I'm wearing wearing yellow today after your comment and after your analysis. But here is a quick statistics that is right in front of us. The two teams have met 161 times. That is a huge number. In fact, that's a massive number. 161, out of which Australia have the edge because 91 matches they have won, as opposed to English side they have claimed only 65 wins. So 91 against 65. What this equation therefore suggests about the whole dominance of the game on this format, especially two games have been tied with three matches only witnessing results. So what is your take on this equation? 161, 91 Australia, 65 England.
I mean, the stat speaks for itself that how dominating the Aussies have been. The 90s era, was a glorious period for them. Again, like the transition happened, you had from the once the 2000 era started, Australia dominated England. I mean, how much ever, I personally hated Australia because I always felt, they're a pretty damn good team. Off late the transition happened. They lost that cutting edge, but again they are back in form. They are winning ICC champions. I mean ICC trophies. So yeah, that clearly shows it's all about for Australia. Mentally, they are really solid. They're really tough. When it comes to big matches, I mean, I don't have words for it. I mean, how good they are at I mean, playing the big matches.
And Pakistan does hold a special position in the hearts of Australians. Remember the 1996 World Cup? So that was the venue, and here we are once again, a very important tournament. Again, the venue is just the same here in the subcontinent in Pakistan. So who knows? History does repeat itself. They got to wait and watch, right?
But sorry to interrupt, but there's just one more thing I would like to add. It also depends on India. Because if India reaches the final, then Australians will be heading to Dubai and won't be staying in Pakistan.
Exactly. Here are a few more stats with us. Australia have not won a single match for the last 15 years. Would that be a cause of for concern, or do you think it's a fresh day, it's a fresh start, it's a fresh battle every single match? But 15 is a very long time. Not a single game they won in the last 15 years.
It is a big cause of concern because again, it is very rare that Australians don't win matches in an ICC tournament. I don't know. It's a Champions Trophy curse you may call for Australia because I think after they just won one trophy, but since 2013, it has just been a group stage exit, and 2017 was even worse. Like we can see here, like they did not win a single match because three matches they lost one to England, while the rest of the two matches were washed out by rain. So yeah, I mean this would play on their mind. But yeah, I'm sure that past is the past, and they are looking ahead at the future right now, at the present and the future. So they would want to change things. They would want to just change the records and maybe register their first win in the last 15 years.
Therefore, what thoughts must be running across the captain's mind, the respective captains, I say. I mean, they're known for their temperament, they're known for their strategizing and shuffling players right just in the nick of the moment. We know that. So, in that sense, how important, how significant is the captainship there? The leaders have to, lead from the front, so to speak, in the truest sense of the word. So, in that sense, what Australia and English side is looking at the moment, in your opinion?
When when you talk about the captaincy, I think Australia have a brilliant captain in form of Steve Smith, though he was involved in that scandal. Sorry, I mean the tampering scandal in South Africa. But you can't take away the credit from the way he's captained Australia in the past. So definitely, Australia have a good leader in form of Steve Smith. Talking about England, Jock Butler, again, like I said, he's also a brilliant skipper. He loves, leading the team from the front. He wants to score runs from the team. He wants to, make an impact. But yeah, it's a mental game, and everything will be decided once the toss happens.
We don't have Pankaj Athavale with us today. He surely is going to join us tomorrow with Nishat Pai Vaidya. We are hoping to see them because I need to know the analysis there in terms of what is the margin of error, what strike rates are we going to keep, what averages are we looking at. But if we talk purely in terms of number, could it be 60-40? Is it 50-50? 60 Australia, 40 England, or 60 England, 40 Australia, given the conditions and the players missing out from the Australian side and given the subcontinent condition? Is it 60 England, 40
Uh,
Australia? Or am I absolutely wrong with
I
my
would say
prediction?
I would say 50-50.
You're still going ahead with 50-50?
I would
Yeah.
definitely want to bet on 50-50 because, like I said, even though Australia are missing couple of experienced players, but the new players can also spring in a surprise. Uh, like I said, when it comes to ICC tournaments, Australia has always delivered when it mattered the most. So again, with I can't say a weak attack, but with the kind of bowlers that they have in their ranks, you never know what kind of surprise they're going to bring.
Absolutely. And then reshuffling will start, the new equations will start forming, and therefore all these equations are going to influence who therefore enters the knockout stage from here onwards. It's still a group match stage, but this match is going to unfold in a major way, in a significant way, because all eyes will be on Australia and England, the rivals, and it is going to matter going forward. Uh, Given
I
the
think
conditions,
just one more point that I would like to add, like
sure,
what we can see right now, that
sure,
England, again, they want to win an ICC tournament. It can be, as you can see here, they've twice ended runners up, especially playing in their home conditions. And,
true.
they have reached the semi-final stage. They just haven't been able to, put in that extra punch to, finally get their hands on the trophy. So obviously, this tournament will matter a lot for England players as they would want to win an ICC tournament.
So, of course, and everybody talks about the evolution of the Australian side. They see how young it is, how fierce it is. Of course, the side is not perhaps, in my mind, as fierce as the Ricky Ponting led side, but of course, it's a very passionate side. How do you see the evolution of English side? You were talking about the years that when they came so close and yet could not make it, but still dominating the game and the series. ICC Champions Trophy, especially in the ODIs, not quite in the manner that Australia, is lagging behind. They are the front runner as far as this edition of the Champion Trophy goes, and numbers clearly suggest that. How do you therefore see the evolution of the English side in terms of captaincy and in terms of the new young talent coming in, showing their potential and skills in the manner that we have not seen before?
See, this England side have good quality of players. It's just the matter of coming on the match day and performing really well with both bat and ball. There is no shortage of talent, but what will matter is them performing on the ground, because that is where everything is decided. So obviously, when it's England and Australia, emotions will be high. There are a couple of players who would want to have a great start to the tournament. They would want to, score runs and help the team win, and or take them at least till the semi-finals. As of for now, their eyes will be set on semi-finals. So definitely, they would want to start on a very positive note, get runs, get wickets, just stay on the first two positions on the points table, which takes them into the top four. Because once they enter the semi-final, that is where things are going to get a little tougher. Because England would want to get past that semi-final hurdle, get into the final, get their hands on the ICC Champions Trophy. So I'm really looking forward. Even though they had a poor series in India, I feel that these guys have the potential to do really well in the Pakistan conditions.
And there you go. We have been constantly talking about the rivalry, the famous rivalry between Australia and England, but it does not come anywhere close to the rivalry that is going to unfold on the day right after, which is India and Pakistan. No match, right?
Absolutely no match. I think obviously Australia and England's rivalry are at a different level, but when it comes to India and Pakistan, there is no match. Like I said, I think it is the pressure of the fans that the players face, because all the eyes will be on them. Each and every ball will count. Each and every wicket will count. So definitely, that pressure will be really immense. It will be a very different ball game altogether. But like I said, but as we say, like cricket is a game of unpredictability. So again, you never know which team. I mean, we say that this team is not going to perform, but that team just blows away with our mind and come up with some great match performance, and it could be anything for that matter.
If you are expecting emotions to run high in tomorrow's game, which is Australia and England, think about day after tomorrow. I mean, that is going to be a battle of unheard scale, literally. And we are looking forward to
It
that
will be
one.
the
And that's
battle
how
of
we're
the
going to
ages.
explain and analyze, probed into, and discuss even further tomorrow, same time, as we go live on the FPJ on this special edition called ICC Champions Trophy Special with FPJ Sports Desk, where we are going to discuss and dissect, decode, of course, India and Pakistan. So stay tuned. And of course, I'm going to see our guest tomorrow. You'll be missing out on the action tomorrow, but hope to see you soon, where we discuss how the other games unfold and where do other teams, stack in that list when they go ahead in this particular edition of the ICC Champions Trophy. So, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate always your views, your analysis. I'll see you in the forthcoming games. Hope to see you soon. But tomorrow, of course, we are going to go live on this platform with none other than Pankaj Athavale, the popular cricket commentator, and Nishat Pai Vaidya, who is the official auctioneer of the IPL. So join us tomorrow as we discuss India versus Pakistan. Till then, bye bye.